Pergi mana ni?
Oh, nak pergi cosplay fair.
Cosplay.
Ah.
Itulah sebab pakai macam ni ah. You punya road tax sudah mati tau.
Rotek sudah mati.
Ah,
Oh, I sudah lupa. Boleh tolong tak?
tolong you renew.
Ah.
Oh, you pun tahu ah? Okay. Sekarang ni, you punya handphone pergi POI to you. Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Tekan road tax. Lepas tu masuk you punya nombor kereta, ID semua. Lepas tu bayar. Dia akan bagi you QR code.
Yang ni QR code dia akan keluar segera ke boleh guna pakai?
Segera dapat.
Oh,
Okay? Lepas I scan, macam ni lah. You dah renew lah.
Okay.
Jangan kena tangkap lagi ya.
Sorry.
Renew sekarang ah.
Okay, arigatou ni-chan.
Okay, pergi. It's 83% now. The Wi-Fi is off. Just the standard 4G. I'm gonna place the phone in the wireless charger and wait for it to charge. Okay, starts charging and let's go. I am driving the GLA 35. Let's see how's the car's like. All right. Okay, I'm in comfort mode. Sorry, my voice is a little bit murky because I've been having a sort of a week-long sore throat. That's viral going on. I'm now in comfort mode and the suspension feels harsh. Yeah, the suspension feels harsh. It is harsh, even in comfort mode. I noticed something. I'm not sure if that's true, but I found a snow mode. When I turn past from comfort, I turn counterclockwise. It goes into individual mode first, then I can go snow mode. I realized myself over the past 2 days, I tend to switch to snow mode the most because the car feels more comfortable in snow mode. Yeah, but even that, you can still feel the suspension's rather short travel. So this car is, I mean, when you hear almost 1.7 tons, you would have reckoned that, oh, I thought GLA is a small car. But in modern day terms, a car of this size, this interior room, I would say that it's average now, about 1.7 tons. It's not something lightweight, but when you drive it, it doesn't feel it is 1.7 ton because the car is a bit, it reacts to the road like a small car, like an A-Class that should be, you know, an A-Class that should, let alone this is an AMG 35. So in terms of space, I see everybody's very comfortable. I'll go through the interior later. But I tend to always feel the back part of the car, the rear axle, whenever you go up a speed bump and when you come down, it comes down hard. Even if I'm in comfort or snow mode, you know. So in that respect, if you're buying a GLA, a small crossover for family use, perhaps you want to go for the non-AMG variant. Or why can't brands like Mercedes, BMW, Audi and all that, right? Why can't they offer a high performance variant, as in high engine output, fast, but doesn't need to necessarily be in the performance direction of things. You know, I may want the top spec GLA, but I don't want the ride quality of an AMG car, you know, like that. I may not want that. Other than that, I get loads of headroom, space is adequate, sitting position is alright. It's not a sedan kind of sitting position, so I am nearer to the footwell, to the pedal box, than a similar size car would be. If I were to be in a C-Class, I would have been sitting a lot more comfortable, like a lounge chair. But since these are crossovers, the way they create the cars, I am sitting like as if I'm on a dining chair kind of sitting position. Alright, so my foot is pretty near to me, and interestingly, there is a lot of room behind the brake pedal and the throttle pedal. If they were to mount these two things further in, it would have been more comfortable, as in to mount them around the same height as the footrest. My left footrest is perfectly comfortable, so if they were to do that, it would be a lot more comfortable. Anyway, how the engine performs, wonderful. Mercedes makes wonderful engines, wonderful gear shifts. This 8-speed DCT, even in snow mode, you know, I don't need to floor the throttle and the engine comes alive. It is an engine that just wants to get out of its cage at any given moment. And then the dial on the steering wheel, which Mercedes, I mean, it's obviously they saw their Stuttgart friends go, wow, that's a nice idea to put the driving modes on the steering wheel, and they did it, and it's a good idea. You can switch it on the fly, you know, instead of having to come to the center console to press some buttons, or even worse, you have to go to the screen to do something like that. So kudos to Mercedes-Benz. This steering wheel has got to be one of the most, if not the most beautiful, steering wheels out there. This is such a good looking steering wheel, beautifully finished. It's just so pleasant to the eye, and there are little screens on that little dial there. This is just so cool. Of course, one more thing to break down, but hey, Mercedes are masters when it comes to making people feel emotionally attached in the showroom before they drive their cars, because their cars don't really drive that well. Alright? But not everybody is an advanced driver who's able to tell the difference between how an M2 differentiates from an A45 on certain conditions. Not everybody is like that. Not everybody is in pursuit of that. Some people just have money, they want to buy the top spec, they want a car that doesn't embarrass them on the highway. Hey, they have a GLA 45. Maybe I should go, sorry, this is a GLA 35. So this is about 368,000. It's assembled in Malaysia, not built in Malaysia, but sort of like a knocked down and assembled in Malaysia. Alright, largely resembles that of an A-Class. I noticed some of the fit and finish is much better than the A-Class. In the A-Class, this aircon panel rocks front and up and down. Materials on the dash, fantastic injection mold, polyurethane kind of nice soft touch material, but on the doors and the lower doors and all that, it reveals its roots as an entry-level Mercedes. And you know, Mercedes is not like Volvo. Volvo gives you everything when you buy the entry level. Mercedes doesn't. Mercedes wants you to work hard. Alright? They want you to be able to tell the difference whenever you upgrade. That's a good way of seeing them skimping on things. Alright, I see the little Burmeister logo there. I'll try and hook up my phone later on. Overall, I would not drive this car in Sport Plus mode. Sport Plus mode is not drivable daily. and this is not a car you can bring to the track. I mean, I say Mercedes is masters when it comes to attracting people in showrooms, because everything they do, every single thing they do in this car here, or their design language and all that, was designed to seal the deal in the showroom before you even take out your driver's license to go for a test drive. Why must car buying be decided with a test drive? It's just an old practice, you know. You can skip that if you don't focus on driving that much yourself, or you suck at that. So anyone who walks into a Mercedes showroom, sit in the seats here, look at whatever that he or she is able to look and feel and touch, I can tell you that it's 90% there, right? The screen is sharp, it's beautiful, the steering wheel is beautiful, the aircon vents are beautiful, the touch points are amazing. All these things were designed to move cars out of the lot. Alright? So, is this car a car that I keep wanting to drive in? No, it's not. Do I like the standard GLA? I find them to be rather bulbous. I mean, the A-Class is good looking, but the GLA looks a bit like an A-Class taking steroids the wrong way. That means they grow in the wrong way. Instead of wide and, you know, strong, it becomes lumpy. But the lumpiness rewards you back in interior room. The car is huge. Inside here is huge. I reckon you get more room than a Porsche Macan inside here. Yeah, I think so. You get more room. But the overall soundproofing, ride quality, how the car reacts to small inputs and all that, I reckon you will have a more comfortable, smoother, more premium ride feel in a Mazda. At the CX-30, for example, alright, it's gonna feel better when it goes over speed bumps. It will feel better when you glide the car into a turn, and then your inputs and all that, right? That is a product from a company that puts a lot of effort in fine-tuning the interactions between the driver and the car while you're driving to work or long distance or whatnot. This is a car that pays no attention to that. None. Alright? It's designed to attract you to buy, gives you the horsepower, gives you the screen, gives you the features, gives you an excellent steering wheel. But when it comes to driving, when it comes to, you know, just doing the daily stuff, you can tell that they just put these things together and then they roll it off the shelf and then they sell it to you. It's not something that will fall apart in a turn. You know, I just drove the Veloz the other day. I mean, you don't even want to corner with that kind of car. This, of course, you can. At the end of the day, there is a sport suspension. There is this, there is that. You know, but if I were to tell you a Ferrari 458 is more comfortable than this, would you believe that? I mean, that's how it is. A car that is properly tuned and adjusted so that the feeling of driving is pleasurable. Those are something that certain car makers take, or any Volvos, any modern Volvos, right? You go in and drive them, they're all super pleasant to drive. They will not give you this sensation of, you know, for a normal person, it just feels rough and what's going on, you know, that kind of stuff. But that's the reason AMGs being AMGs, they are a bit bonkers. Look at that. And that's when these kind of cars makes you see, on a flat road, Sport Plus, oh, you just want to whack it. Ooh. That's why people buy AMGs. The brakes are not very strong. Brakes aren't very strong for its size and performance. But this engine, what a gem of an engine! What a gem of an engine! Who makes better 2 liters than Mercedes-Benz? Nobody. Nobody. See, that's the thing. If I want this, and I want to be able to ferry my family, to pretend I'm a good boy, my one and only car, this is spacious. It holds a lot of luggage, you know, and then you can rump it. Yeah, this is a rump it car. You know, it's not your smooth Jinba Itai CX-30 driver car engagement bullshit. Can your Mazda do that? You can't. Oh, Mercedes. Oh, Mercedes. How entertaining you are.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
I love you, Mercedes.
The way to my heart is through the car.
Hi, Mercedes.
How can I help?
What do you think of BMWs?
Close acquaintance. Mercedes even manufactured series car bodies for BMW in the 1930s.
Hi, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
What do you think of Audis?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
What do you think of Audi?
Super. Business is all about competition.
Hi, Mercedes.
How can I help?
What do you think about Porsche?
A good friend from down the road.
Hi, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
What do you think of Ferrari?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
What do you think of Ferrari?
I'm sorry, but I can't help you with it right now.
Thank you. See, it's entertaining. So, Mercedes salesman, if you're watching this, pull up this with your customers. They're gonna smile in the car, you know, especially when it says a close acquaintance, you know, a friend down the road. These guys know how to party, all right? Audi is all about business, boardroom, library. Yeah, man. That's why they appeal to young people. Young people have stronger backbones. They're not like Uncle Bobby complaining about this and that. No. They want to fly over speed bumps. They want to climb a tree. You know? Fall from a tree. Anyway. Let's go around the car later. But oh my god, this engine is... Sir, what are you doing? Especially when it does that. Ow! Jinba Itai. Let's go. Oh, I didn't jump the red light there for you snowflakes out there, okay? The left side turning right, they can't U-turn, I can turn left, alright? Oh. What an engine, what an engine. Oh, what a ride, it's crap. That's what the Aston Martin engineers were telling me. Most car makers in Sports Plus mode, they just make the car undrivable daily. They just make it ride so stiff, so jerky, to let you feel that you have turned into Sports Plus mode. That's why they make the DBX 707 so pliant and comfortable in Sport Plus. But the thing is this. The way to a person's heart are supposed to be highly fluctuating emotional trigger points, not the smooth ones, right? What makes people love Alfa Romeo so much is because cars like those pull the strings of your heart when they don't start that morning and you need to rush to some place and you remember that day for the rest of your life, right? You were so furious, you were screaming, and when you got it fixed, you were so happy. And another morning, you may be rushing to somewhere and your car just starts just like that. And you were so happy that your Alfa Romeo starts. And again, the strings to your hearts were pulled. And that's why people fell in love with them, right? So those toxic relationships are the ones that some people say most unforgettable, I guess. So, bro. What a monster. I kind of wish I want this engine in... Do they have this in a C-Class? Do they have this engine in an E-Class? I want it because it's just so small and so stupidly entertaining. Man. Anyway, let's look around the car. Cheers. I have to be careful. These days there is a lot of motorbikes that uses this road. My God. For a car this small, the turning circle is not very small. Anyway. You know, the rear Mercedes logo that pops up and down to reveal the camera is a bit loud when it operates. So, this is the dashboard of the GLA 35. Alright, as you hop in the car, imagine you're in the showroom now, you hop in the car and this is your touch point, everything that you're looking at. I use a wide angle lens because I want you guys to see more things together at once. Alright, so same thing as how Mercedes goes. You have the long one-piece screen that looks like one piece, but it's just a holder that holds two screens. Alright, and over here you have the aircon vents, which is illuminated. You have 60 over colors to change. And let's start the car. On the brakes. Yep. I kind of noticed this driver's door, I need to close it a few times for it to be tight. Maybe it's the rubber seals or something. Okay, now I need to go through this first because this has got to be for those of you who buy Mercedes-Benzes, right, you must have go into BMW's showroom as well and start their cars and look at their LCD clusters as well, right? When you compare that from a BMW to that of Mercedes, BMW's is almost useless, like utterly useless. You know, they didn't put much thought to it. They just give you a large screen, and I'll show you an example of how well thought out this is. The older versions have some funny things because I used to be able to do fuel consumption. It's just hilarious. But anyway, they allow you to control. So you see, on the steering wheel you have these touch sensitive buttons. You may be like, oh no, touch sensitive, but this is one of the best. I'll show you how it operates. See this side is highlighted, and then there are little buttons over here. Yeah, I'll do it again. And when you scroll up and down, see, it changes different functions. This is just very clever. It may look complicated at first, but it's so intuitive. Okay, and the interactions between you and the buttons and all and the screen, right, is just very seamless. So you have the RPM next to the RPM, and then you scroll down. This is very useful. I would keep this if I were driving my car, right? I get the water temperature and the oil temperature both at the same time, and then all four wheels pressure, okay, and it's presented in a three-dimensional manner, so you know which wheel is which wheel. Very smart. And the temperature as well as the pressure. Scroll down further. Oh, sorry, I went to the middle screen. So this is just for fun, how many kWs and how's the turbo boosting, which is, I mean, there's no real usage. And then the modes that they're in currently, which is, the suspension, the drivetrain, they're all in comfort mode now. This is the G-force meter, which is very entertaining as well. And this is the consumption, which, given that this is an AMG, you see the consumption, but I'll go back to that later. But yeah, you have all the options, and then the navigation. Now if I swipe this to the left, you see the middle part being highlighted, and same goes, I can change certain things, but it's a little bit different. Alright, see, I can see the odometer, the ref counter, the consumption, and average consumption, driving behavior, and then some mileage counter and all that. Slightly different. I can press this to go full screen, which looks pretty okay, and then press the back button when I felt there's no reason to be in the full screen anyway. Alright, so guess I'll just leave it in the ref counter. Okay, now I move to the left. This one, of course, I have the speedo, but I can also change and look at the clock or the average consumption. Alright, trip A, trip B, trip itinerary, and then music, Bluetooth or whatnot. So it's a little bit different now. They have done it in such a great manner that now I can put my maps over here, so my passenger can operate something else when I'm using the map, right? And this one is the ref counter, and then this one. I kind of wish that all the functions available here should also be integrated with all the functions over here, right? So that I can have my map, my speedo and ref, and my tire pressure and all that at the same glance. To me, those are the most important things. Alright, now come to the center screen. This is the new infotainment system. I no longer think that Mercedes lags behind BMW in this. I think BMW now makes the worst UI. From the best to the worst, from their new one. This is rather simple. Media, you have comfort, performance, the apps, and the settings for the cars, and all that. Alright, vehicle, acoustics, lights, So it's pretty straightforward and very consistent in terms of the way the things are laid out. Oh, that's notification. Go back to home. Anything that is related to performance is here. The graphics are really nice, really nice. I mean, Mercedes knows how to do their graphics. It's like a video game, Performance is a bit slow. I notice the screen lags sometimes, but overall everything is just very clearly and easily understandably lumped together in a way that you kind of know where to find certain things because of the way they are being grouped together. Alright, so yeah, pretty nice. I mean, themes and all that, these are unnecessary in my opinion. Shouldn't even be on the main screen. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they think of it like a wallpaper, right? You want to change it, right? Oh, all of a sudden this whole thing changes. Now what's going on? Okay, Now this is very, very standard. Can I shoot to the right? Ah, this is the... Wow, how many types of graphics that Mercedes did. My god. So nice. The rev counter, this is more traditional, right? You see, yeah, it's more traditional. I don't even know how to go back to that. Okay, let's go to themes again. Standard. So, okay. Wow, wow. Lounge. My god. Mercedes has... that's all? That's all? I was expecting like a completely different... What about trip? Oh no. Okay. Themes, lounge, standard experience. I guess just now we're in racetrack, probably. Hence the... okay, I get it now. So I was in racetrack theme. I can download new themes, or I can save a new one. I see. So there's a lot of things to play with. Makes you feel like you're playing with a tablet, so which is not bad. Okay, now this one, sorry, I need to spend time on that. While I'm on that, let's see if the wireless charger of this car is of, you know, proper use, because some wireless charger just charges so slow. My phone is now at 99%. Good job. At least, you know, good job. Some wireless chargers, you place them there and they just maintain your power. So I was complaining about this module in the A class, that it rocks front and back. Now this thing is different. It's very solid, very good. Alright, maybe they watch my videos. Oh, a footrest. Even though it's not finished in some proper material, but at least it's a footrest. So what I was saying just now about the footrest is that, you see, this is a comfortable sitting position for me. I would kind of wish that, you know, the brake pedals or the throttle is of this height as well, but it was raised then. But then when I check the back, there's still a lot of room. So I mean, I can't complain too much, right? But the fact is, my ankles are kept in this manner most of the time, so it's a bit of a... And if I sit further back, my wrist won't be able to touch the top of the steering wheel. This is like maximum telescopic already, right? There's a nice heads-up display, very large. Okay, so yeah, I see some metallic Burmester logo over there, but these are mostly plastic. So I guess this is like the lowest of the lowest end Burmester. Okay, but this is the GLA, so I don't complain that. Now you can also change your driving modes, dynamic. Alright, here, volume. Still get some physical buttons. Activate, you know, navigation, shortcut keys all of them are still here. You know, this is interesting. At first I was like, what does this do? So remember the the previous Mercedes-Benz, they integrate the I think it's a little bit unnecessary because this one and this one is just so near, but hey, nevertheless, you know, because they don't have a gear lever here. So for those who are used to resting their arms, they find this piece of monolith structure over here. The suspension adjustments are here, traction control, the manual mode, you know, all this are here. Okay, I kind of like this. Oh no, last time they have one where you press and you can take out the whole thing. You can't now? Can I not? Kind of hope. I mean, the old one where you can take it out, right? You get a large compartment. Alright, there's a USB-C port here. You can cover this up. You can still put stuffs here because it's indented. So very thoughtful of Mercedes. Yes and no, that the fact that if it is a rubberized material, it will be more practical. If it is piano black plastic like this, it will leave a lot of scratch. But piano black looks beautiful in photos. Alright, when it's nicely white, right, it just gives you that classy appearance. Now, how did piano black came about if it is such a smudgy material? Piano black, as the name suggests, comes from piano, and those are wood, right? Many layers of lacquer and all that, and creates this effect. So it was a very luxurious material. My Aston Martin has proper wood piano black. Alright, and it doesn't attract dust like these plastic ones do, because these carry a lot of static. Right, these are not wood. Anyway, this one is nice. The build is nice, but I have no idea why the handle is so cheap. It's a thin piece of plastic that leaves a mark on your finger. Not Mercedes. Given that this is a GLA 35, given that they use so much of this satin chrome material, it doesn't hurt to make like a metallic looking one, something like this, you know, not this. This is cheap. This is painted, like, this is nice, proper nice material. This one here, this is so cheap. Anyway, nice, very deep. Is there kind of feel there? No. Very nice, very usable, very spacious, and 2 USB-C ports. Lovely. Even such, so cute, right? Even such a small compartment, they split it so that it makes it, you know, this is the best. Not those. Those are stupid. You know, I mean, you don't need the S-Class, that overcomplicated mechanism, but this is, BMW did this first, and this is perfect. You know, you open halfway, it doesn't obstruct the driver or anybody anyhow. Instead of a lid being opened up like that, you know, and rear passengers cannot access it, this is perfect for everybody. Right? Sometimes I do that on my car. Certain things were jutting out on my BMW, I mean. Unfortunately, I don't see a sunglass holder. I mean, the previous generation Mercedes, they always have a small sunglass holder. I mean, a lot of ladies buy these segments and they put their sunnies there. Not sure why it's taken out, but there's loads of space over here. Okay, no complaints there, no complaints here. This feels very cheap. The plastic feels very cheap. Alright, but it's okay. But no, it's not okay. The whole thing just moves when I press the button. I mean, it looks good, but there are many grades of plastic in this car. Interesting. Okay, the seats, these are not the most aggressive A45 seats. Of course, they're not going to give you A45 seats when you pay A35 money. They're comfortable enough. They don't look high-end, but I have no complaints sitting on it. The bolsters are proper. They hold me in place. Alright. And I know the aggressive wings would look good, but it makes ingress and egress troublesome. Oh, one thing I want to point out. I do not know since when Mercedes like sort of redesigned the seatbelt buckle, but it feels good. And if it does something practical, maybe it does something practical, you know, preventing the seatbelts from folding in by itself and flipping around. But nevertheless, it just feels heavier than the regular seatbelt buckles, and it feels nice. I like it. Ouch. Okay, perhaps a bit too much weight there. This one is adjustable, but at a small degree. Okay. Come to the steering wheel. Just now I was going through this and this, right? This one controls this. See? So clever. I can do everything on the screen, and it's so intuitive. It's so intuitive. Look at that. Right. So nice. From here I can operate this. So Mercedes now makes the best UI plus human input, you know. They are the best now. I mean, in terms of all the new German Audi, BMW, or whatever, you know. Audi went bonkers with 3 screens. Anyway, this one is taken out from a Porsche. You know, they're Stuttgart buddies. They're like, hey buddy, do you mind if I copy your idea? I don't mind, we're both from Stuttgart. And there you go. But they made it even better. They had a screen behind. So damn cool. So you can play a quiz. Guess how many screens this car has. Right, most people will say 2. But actually it's 4. Look at that. Look at this tiny graphic. So cute. Right? Yeah. Here are the lights. Automatic. You know, very straightforward. Press this. Now the stalks. You may not feel that is that easy to use at first, but I guarantee you, after 1 day of driving around in the Mercedes-Benz, you would begin questioning why not all cars do this and free up this space. Okay, why do I bring a hat? I'll explain later. Okay, I'll explain later. Okay, I can explain now. Look at my hair. Right, I'm not someone who would comb my hair. Okay, let me hang this upside down. Real quick. Sorry guys. I'll flip the clip later. So my conclusion to this car before I go to the back is that hey GLA, I want to tart you up. Why? Bring you to the track. Bring you to AMG. Please dress up. Okay, I'm ready. So it's a bit like this. This is just a normal GLA, but then they put in all the AMG bits, put in a strong engine, suspension. Just put stuffs in and off you go. You know, without even like, you know how the M2 drives different from a 2 Series. It's not just an engine, you know, not just the parts, you know, they do a lot more things. That's what I meant. Anyway, let's go to the back seats, okay? So that was my seating position. Ingress and egress is very easy because the door's height is amazing, because this is essentially a crossover or an SUV. There's one more USB-C port there. Now coming to the back, apart from this bit and this, and of course you can see the stitches, apart from this you cannot tell this is a premium car. Alright, all these really hard plastics at the back here, very little stuffs. Down here is straight up Perodua Toyota levels. Okay, little wall E is still here. Mercedes loves it. Hello. And the mouth. And these are just like really low rent plastics over here. Alright, but the first thing that I appreciate is that I don't need to lift this thing to be able to rest comfortably. Alright, I get 2 or 3 fingers of headroom. It's comfortable, and I'm sitting on the same height as the front passenger, even though I'm sitting at the same height, but these are not crazy sports bucket and all that blocking all my view. I still get a lot of view, and I get quite a bit of light coming in, although is there an option to have a panoramic roof? Please get a panoramic roof, you know, so that I feel so much more airy inside here. I mean, if Mercedes offers, oh, there's no, okay, I understand this. The importance of a split folding seat is more important. It's more than that of having an armrest. All right, so that's why it was designed this way. This is a small car. Don't forget, it came from an A class, and there's no armrest. But hey, because it's comfortable behind here, there's more room than a Porsche Macan. Less room than an XC40, but the seat back is at least a little bit more slanted than the XC40. XC40 sits a bit straight. Yeah, a bit like that. Then you get a parcel shelf. That's about it. The red seat belts to add to the emotion. Can I move the buckles up there? Or is this little slot for the buckles? I'm not sure. What do they do? Maybe they do that. Probably. Right? Leg room. Oh, I thought these are the cheapest plastics until I see those. Yeah, these are even worse. This is straight up sharp. No good. If your kids don't wear their shoes at the back there, they might scratch their feet with this really pointy ends. Now if you have one of these GLAs, go back and check. Get a nail filer, file it off, because it's really sharp. It's very sharp. Is there supposed to be like a rubber cap or something? No. Oh my god. One, two, three, four. See, this is what I mean by sometimes Mercedes just left out these things. They don't care. And it's disappointing to see this, you know. That is straight up. I think in US it wouldn't pass certain, don't know what, I don't know. Anyway, my feet are size 11.5, so I can't put my feet in between the base of the rail to the base of the seats, so that's the only room I have. Right, so this reveals what segment this car is. If you were to be sitting 3-person abreast, now the center seat doesn't bulge up as much. I mean, at the end of the day, right, these cars are designed for small families, so the kids will sit comfortably. You can squeeze 3-person, but that's not the point of these cars. These are 4-seaters, or 4 adults, or 3 kids at the back. Alright, let's go to the boot. Ingress and egress is very easy. And oh, it's not the logo that flips up. What was it that flips up? Was it like a camera module? This one is very loud. Yeah, it was pretty loud when it opens up to reveal the camera. So let's do this. Yeah, someone took it out. And okay, now I need to flip this back. Am I able to? Should be able to. Yeah, there you go. So the boot is quite big. What is that? I'm curious. So you get a tire repair kit. That's about it. There are no space underneath this parcel shelf. Oh, you can lift this up and turn it to a false floor. Let me show you. There we go. So when it's a false floor like that, you get a flat loading lip, and then you can open up to store some stuffs, even though not a lot, but this height. Alright, you can store stuffs around that kind of height. There's a hidden compartment so you can put your laptops and all that out of view. Alright, this uses a powered strut instead of a power hinge. Okay, let's close the boot. Pretty practical, very practical. Alright, from the outside, of course the GLA 35 is going to look better than the standard GLA, but overall I just don't really like the GLA's shape this generation GLA. However, I cannot deny the fact that the previous GLA is too small. This one is just nice. Alright, it's no longer, you know, the previous GLA can't be compared to a Mini Clubman or an X1 and all that, and now this one finally is spacious enough. Alright, you have a large boot, you know, all the compartments are alright, and given that this is the AMG, you get proper wheels as well. You get some nice matrix or high definition Mercedes headlamps. When you start the car, it does the light show. When you open the doors, the Mercedes logo is out. So for 360,000, this is not cheap, but it's a high performance little crossover. I understand the appeal, just that I wish it is 50% more comfortable than what it currently is. Because if a Porsche Macan Turbo can make their cars comfortable, there's no reason an AMG 35 cannot. Alright, overall, it's not crazy expensive at 360,000, but it is also the price point of an M340i, which is better finish, drives absolutely better, performs better, not as crazy in terms of its execution, and rides really well, but that's a boring 3 Series. This is an AMG. Yeah, alright, so it's 100,000 more than the standard one. I mean, if this is about 330, then wow, you know, because the standard one is like 270, and then there's the base model 240. So yep, that's the end of my review. Alright, and what a beautiful dashboard. Alright, so I've reviewed a lot of cars. If you come and look at my channel, and I sort of review cars this manner. Okay, yeah. Oh, if you want to know the horsepower and all that, I mean, you can just Google, right? Just, yeah, GLA 35, what's the horsepower? It's so easy. I tell you things that you can't Google search on the car. So this is how I review my cars. Right? Cheers.